So maybe you're trying to get a house and you don't have a down payment saved up, and you don't have, the house you want to get doesn't qualify for USDA. What do? Are you out of options? Well, good thing you're watching this video, and good thing you're going through the happy method, because you actually could potentially qualify for SC housing. So in South Carolina, if you're watching this video in South Carolina, there is a program called SC Housing. It's a government agency, and they allow folks to, it gives you up to $7,000 as of the time of this video to apply towards your down payment. So it's a fantastic option for folks that don't have money saved up, and like I said, maybe the house you're looking at would not qualify for USDA. Now, here are a couple key takeaways that you need to know. First of all, you gotta have good credit. Right? We need you to have at least a 640 credit score. So this is what we talk about with the 3 pillars. Going through that happy method, going through the home pre-approval prosperity estimate, getting that done through our proven process, then it's going to really look at, we're gonna make sure that credit score is good so that you can then get that assistance. Now, here's a little known secret. A lot of lenders and a lot of banks, they won't do, if you go down to your big bank, they're probably not gonna offer SC housing to you, because honestly, they really don't care. So I care, I actually wanna help you, right? And here's another thing, a lot of lenders don't do them because they don't make as much money, right? They don't make as much money off of you. Their commission checks aren't as big. So they don't do it. They don't want to do it. They don't even take the time. Now, there's a lot of good lenders that will. I love to do them. I would love to help you. If you have good credit and you just need a little bit of help getting your down payment saved up, then that is a fantastic option for you. Now, here are some drawbacks. SC Housing, again, there's no such thing as free money. So they do charge a fee. Similar to other programs like USDA, there is a 1% fee that they charge rolled into the loan. So you're gonna pay whatever the price of the house is that you borrow, so extra 1% they're gonna roll into it, right? So keep that in mind. The interest rates are good. Basically, SC Housing is just, the loan is usually a normal FHA or a conventional loan, but they just give you they attach the down payment. Now, how does that work? Well, how do they just give you the money? Well, it's actually attached as a second lien to the house. So what that means is, you buy a house, you have one mortgage, right? What happens with SC Housing is they attach that money, that $7,000, as a lien. So it's attached to the house, and if you go to sell the house, let's say in like 5 years you go to sell the house, that lien is gonna be recorded at the courthouse, and so it's gonna have to pay that off before you actually are able to sell the house, before there's a clear chain of title, before you're able to just, to move it out. So they do that because obviously they want to make sure it's mainly intended for folks that are going to get the house, they need some help, and they're going to stay in the house. In most cases, they're 10-year and they're 20-year forgivable and non-forgivable loan programs. So once we if you want to know more about whether you actually qualify, shoot me a message. That would be the best way, or book an appointment on my calendar, which is linked to my channel. That is going to be the best way to know whether or not you qualify specifically and what type of program, because also SC Housing, we're going to look at household income, right? So depending on how many people are in the house is going to really determine what you're going to be able to get. And then we also look at, they also look at, where the home is, what the adjusted median income is for that area too. So they're gonna look at that and make sure that everything falls, within their guidelines. And the forgivable aspect that I just touched on. In most cases, most folks, you look at a 10-year, 20-year forgivable. So for most folks, for instance, let's say you get a 10-year forgivable loan. That means that if you're in the house for 10 years, that down payment assistance is forgiven, right? So for every year that goes by, that number reduces a little bit, right? So let's just say you get a house, let's say you get the SC Housing, and 5 years from now, you want to sell the house. Well, that full amount that you got will have reduced a little bit. Like every year it's going to reduce, but there's going to be an amount that you're going to have to like pay back, meaning it's going to come in, it's part of your equity of the house, in other words. So we won't get too far off topic on that, and that'll be conversation for another video. But the overview, to recap, Estate Housing is great. 640 minimum credit score, right? And it always helps to have a little bit of money. If you're watching this video and you don't even have $1,000 in your checking account, it's probably good to at least, you really, it's not a good idea to buy a house if you don't have any money saved up. That's a terrible choice, right? But if you're watching this video and you're struggling and I get it, trust me, I understand. It just helps to have a few $1,000s. If you have even $2,000 saved up to show as reserves, that is gonna look way easier. So 640 credit score, at least have a little bit of money saved up, and it's perfect for those folks who just need the rest. They need some help. They need some of the closing costs covered. So let's say the same with like USDA, you get the down payment covered, we're still gonna have closing costs. So those are important to be, and that's another video you can watch about closing costs, but we'll have to get those negotiated. But it's a perfect option for you. If you can get the closing costs negotiated into the contract, have the seller pay the closing costs, and now you have the down payment assistance from Estate Housing, you literally could come to the table with hardly any money out of pocket. So if you have any questions or you want to know more about it, do I qualify? What do I need to do? Leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Love to read these comments. I love to hear from you guys and gals watching. And we'll see you in the next video.